Did Joe Biden just fly in like Superman and rescue the Trump campaign? Or the other side of the coin, did he just sabotage I almost said the Clinton campaign, the Harris campaign? I guess there's not too much of a difference between the two. Whoa! You're all garbage. Yes. You're also Nazis. You are racist. You are bigots. You're sexist. You're extremist. You're a threat to democracy. Does anybody want to add to the list here? We are live over at Rumble, unless something different has happened. But we are live. We are live everywhere, baby, which we will get to because we are on, well, we're not live on TikTok, but we're on TikTok. We're on Rumble. We're on Twitter, X, YouTube. We're everywhere, baby. We're everywhere. So let's jump right into the news here. You got this whole thing that kind of set a firestorm with Tony Hinchcliffe. Now, I posted some of his stand-up bit from the Madison Square Garden, or as we're calling it, the MAGA Square Garden. And people lost their bleep over this joke. It's a joke, meaning it's not fully true. I'm sure there is some garbage in Puerto Rico in the same way there's garbage sitting on the street of New York. That doesn't mean New Yorkers are garbage, but there's a ton of garbage on the streets of New York. They just got trash cans this year, you guys. That's not even a bit. They literally just got trash cans this year. So here's the joke that set the Democrats spazzing out. They were seizuring out. Here we go.
A lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. A lot
Okay. I'm biased for Tony Hinchcliffe. I love the guy. That's my type of comedy, my type of humor, really all types of humor, to be honest. And I watch him every Monday. Just want to be clear. Or Tuesday as of yesterday, because his episode came out yesterday. And the left lost their mind. They were posting all on social media, coming after me because the video that I posted about Tony Hinchcliffe has like 350,000 views on TikTok. And I only had like 400 followers. Just the previous weekend, or like the previous like few days before, this is what was said by Lord George Lopez, who's joking about Mexicans being thieves. Thieves.
Donald Trump said he was going to build a wall, and George Lopez said, you better build it in one day, because if you leave that material out there overnight...
Look, it's funny. It's funny. It's funny because it's a joke, okay? Are some Mexican thieves? Yes. So are white people. So are some black people. So are some Hispanics and Italians. It's just a joke. You know what I mean? And Democrats, mostly progressives, don't have a sense of humor. I do. I love it. Great joke. But I'm not hounding George Lopez, by the way. I thought it was a great joke. Nice job. He had a good set. Okay, I don't like that he's out there for Kamala. Come over to our side, dude. It's a lot better. But no hysteria over that joke. It's funny, right? That joke that George Lopez just told was days before Tony Hinchcliffe ever took the stage. Nobody said a peep. Nobody said anything. So Tony Hinchcliffe comes out and does that joke. This is the guy, funny enough, his name's Brad as well, takes the TikTok, which I was mentioned in, not by him, but by a follower of his in his thing, and told me to listen up because I thought Tony Hinchcliffe's comedic set was funny. So we're going to listen to what this guy has to say, and I'm going to pause it throughout because it's pretty wild.
I have to jump on TikTok today and explain to Trump supporters how comedy works. So
he's going to lecture you guys. Mind you, this guy's not a comedian, I don't believe. I think he's just a musician that plays the guitar. I think. I'm not downgrading him. I think that's just all he is. I don't know the guy very well.
Listen up, because you guys need so much help on this. All right? Let's say that I was invited to your family barbecue, and I walked up to your grandma, and I said, I love your earrings, Grandma. Too bad your face looks like dog shit. Everyone in the vicinity who heard me say that would look at me like, are you good, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you? Now, if I turned to everyone and I said, what? What, you guys can't take a joke, bro?
Right off the bat, it's already wrong. Like right off the bat. And what you read in his comments, they don't get it. Tony Hinchcliffe is a comedian. By the way, one of the most popular comedians in the world. He has the #1 comedy podcast on the entire planet. So everybody knows who Tony Hinchcliffe was. One, he just went viral like 6 months ago for his bit that he did at the Tom Brady roast. I mean, Jeff Ross, no, everybody knows this guy. He was hired as a comedian to come and tell jokes. Whereas the analogy that Brad here is giving is that that person that showed up to your grandma's birthday party was never hired to show up to give jokes. If he was or she was hired to give jokes like Nikki Glaser or something, then yes, free reign. If that's what they're known for roasting, which Tony Hinchcliffe is, then yeah, free reign. That would be, maybe your grandma would want them there. I don't know. I would find a roaster coming to my birthday party is hilarious, by the way, because I could take a joke. I have thick skin. It's okay. So the analogy is completely wrong here. Completely wrong.
Have you guys ever heard of comedy, dude? That's you. That's you, Trump supporters. You guys think that you're out here just having a goof and people are being too sensitive? It's more that you are objectively fucking annoying.
Hold on, I want to recreate that. It's more like you are objectively fucking annoying. Shit. You know what? Maybe this is a bit. Maybe he is a comedian. I don't know. I think I just saw some guitar stuff. I don't know. Oh, it's good.
To be around. You're not funny. You're not smart. Your jokes are bad. You know why everyone had to Google the comedian at Trump's rally last night? Because nobody knew who the fuck he was. You know.
I gotta do it. You know why hold on. Hold on. Let me do it kind of. You know why everyone had to sit there and Google the comedian at the Trump rally? Because no one knew who the fuck he was. Everybody Googled the Trump rally and Tony Hinchcliffe because they wanted to see the clip, you idiot. That's why they were Googling the guy. Everybody wanted to see the great set. That's why my video went viral, because everybody loved it.
You know why? Nobody knows who the fuck any famous conservative comedians are. You know why that is? There are none. Okay? Part of the reason for that.
By the way, most of the comedians are all voting for Trump. That's why JD Vance and Trump are like on all their podcasts right now. Like Theo Vaughn. JD Vance is going to be on Joe Rogan's podcast. I understand Joe Rogan's not conservative Republican, but he's probably going to vote that way. So it's just funny how that works out. Yeah, I know. All of them are pretty much Republican. Tom Dillon.
Audience is too stupid. Okay?
All of Joe Rogan's friends.
Okay, that's a big part of it.
I'm not wrong.
Conservative comedy is stuck in middle school. Conservatives only laugh.
Says the guy that's dressed like a middle school kid. I can't do this shit. Look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Hand to God, I'm not. But he's going to sit there and lecture us about how conservatives are intellectual, our jokes, all these things are middle school. The dude's literally dressed like a middle school kid. I would know. I've seen and taught middle school. This is how they dress. There was a kid in the front of the classroom just last year that dressed exactly like this. I kid you not.
Laugh at other people's misfortune. That's why Trump bores his fans to tears until he says that Kamala Harris is mentally handicapped. And then you guys are like, ah! Okay,
yes.
That's all you guys know how to laugh at. Trump comedy is, you're fat, you're ugly, you're poor, you throw like a girl. That's all you guys know how to do. You are quite literally not intelligent enough to laugh at anything more interesting than that.
Isn't it interesting that he's I mean, it's a remarkable thing because, as I said, there's no like self-reflection, which I told him in the mirror. Like, he doesn't look in the mirror to see the self-reflection. And neither does anybody in the comment section. And I'm not calling them stupid. All I'm saying is that it's a remarkable thing that he's going to lecture us on we shouldn't be making jokes about Puerto Rico being garbage, but yet he's going to come on here and call us fucking stupid and call us basically all these names that we're not intelligent enough to come up with a good joke, that, oh, all we do is this. It's a remarkable thing how he's going to lecture all of us about doing a joke, but then he comes back with no jokes and just starts calling you all fucking stupid. Isn't that a crazy thing? And there's no realization of that, by the way. I don't know if it's a bit. It might be, because it's so outlandish. I really do mean that. I'm not trying to be hysterical. I'm not trying to cause beef between this guy. He did say, when I said, hey, I don't know what I'm supposed to be listening for, all I see you is lecturing us about a joke when you're just sitting there name calling us, as has your party been doing for decades now, calling us deplorables, calling us racist, sexist, bigots, homophobes, all these things, but no video from this guy about all those things. But when we come out and tell a joke, all of a sudden you lose your shit. Now, he said, oh, I'm sorry about your podcast, which is weird because we have 65,000 followers plus just on YouTube. And to give you guys a comparison, this guy's video got 60,000 views. And he has like 60-something thousand followers on TikTok. I had 400, and my video hit 350,000 views. I'd also like to point out our YouTube channel, just our YouTube channel, doesn't include X, it doesn't include Rumble, it doesn't include all that. Just our YouTube channel gets over 200,000 views easily. I think it's a week or something like that. It's bonkers. We get like 14,000 comments like a week or some crazy number like that. So, sorry about podcast. Our podcast is killing it. Our podcast is killing it. So the Patriots in the chat, baby. We got a movement here. He does not have no movement. He has no movement. He has no community. None at all. We do. We do. So he just posted that, right? Now, what's funny is I look through, no post about Hillary Clinton saying this.
You know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right?
Notice they're all laughing, right? All the Democrats are laughing there. Huh, weird. By the way, it wasn't even a joke. What she just said there was not even a joke. She just really believes that. Tony Hinchcliffe does not believe Puerto Rico is actually garbage. It was a joke. It gets worse, you guys. Here's Joe Biden calling all of you extremists.
There's something dangerous happening in America now. There's an extremist movement that does not share the basic beliefs in our democracy. The MAGA movement.
This is the same guy who has a DHS advisory board with prior CIA directors and other people on it that said, if you are a MAGA supporter, if you are somebody that's religious, and you were ever a military or had been in the military, you are deemed, quote, a terror risk in your own country. That's that guy. But no video on that. No videos on that whatsoever. Isn't that crazy? Joe Biden just came out and called all of you and half of the country, half of the entire country, garbage. Hillary Clinton in 2016 called half the country deplorables. The president, over his entire term, just called you extremists, a threat to democracy. No videos. No video. But none of those were jokes, by the way. Those were all serious quotes. Tony Hinchcliffe comes out and does a joke. Holy shit, he thinks Puerto Ricans are garbage. Oh my God. If you sat there and brought somebody to your grandma's birthday party and you sat there and said, God, grandma, your face looks like shit. Oh, it's just a joke. No, it is just a joke. And that person would have been hired for that birthday party the same way Tony Hinchcliffe was hired to do stand-up comedy, and he's known for his roasting. He's known for drawing the line. I would also like to point out Tony Hinchcliffe's bits that he did at the Trump rally were very calm considering what he normally does. Tony is a gladiator. Here he was at Tom Brady's roast, and this is what he's known for. Look what he could have done at the Donald Trump rally. The dude was calm at the rally.
Afraid of the Giants, which is why Kevin Hart is hosting tonight. All night, he's been using the stool that Aaron Hernandez kicked out from under himself. Kevin is so small that when his ancestors picked cotton, they called it deadlifting. Tom Brady is a patriot, which is surprising considering he looks like a Confederate fag. Clearly your ex-wife takes after you. I hear she's out there draining balls right now. People love you, Tom. You have the same fan base as Kyle Rittenhouse. Gronk, I'm happy you could take a break from writing Santa letters to be here today. I knew you were here when we were all out of chocolate milk backstage. You look like the final boss in George Floyd, the video game. Jeff is so Jewish, he only watches football for the coin toss. Nikki has such a bad eating disorder, the industry keeps shoving her down our throat. You might recognize her from her podcast appearances, specials, and winning the Triple Crown at Churchill Downs. You might recognize Kevin as the jockey that rode her, and that's Churchill Downs, the racetrack, not to be confused with what Jeff Ross looks like when he smokes a cigar. Sam J, an obese African-American lesbian, so by having here, Netflix checked off a lot of boxes. Andrew Schultz, I'm glad you took a break from watching YouTube videos on how to dap up black dudes correctly. Schultz's mom is a professional ballroom dancer, which means she's a stripper that talks too much. Bert Kreischer is a king. He looks like if the Tiger King and the Liver King only ate Burger King and had a liver that looked like Martin Luther King got beat up by Rodney King. And how about the appearance from the great Ron Burgundy, huh? A whale.
Oh, God. He wasn't even done. God. He is the best. And what was remarkable, as you saw from this guy, is nobody knows who he is. Everybody knows who Tony Hinchcliffe is. Like I said, he does an entire podcast, the #1 comedic podcast in the world, on the planet, called Kill Tony. Still, by the way, again, we'll get to it. Still waiting. Everybody watch this guy. I want to see if he posts a video about Hillary Clinton's deplorability, calling Republicans that, or most recently, just as like yesterday, Joe Biden calling the Republican Party garbage. I want to see if he does a video on that, because I guarantee you he won't. He won't come out and say, whoa, that was really bad. You shouldn't have done that. By the way, I'm not offended by Joe Biden calling me garbage. I don't care. It doesn't bother me because I know it's not true. See, the truth is where things bother people. It doesn't bother me because I know we're not garbage. We love this country. We want to clean up the garbage and the mess that was created by the Biden-Harris administration is what we want to do. Now, some people got it. Some people said, hey, you know what? I get that it was just a joke. Surprisingly, Jon Stewart comes out and he gets it. Why? Because he's a comedian. Comedians should sit there and support one another. They understand what's going on. Now, could you sit there and take the line a little bit too far, like we saw with Kathy Griffith? Yeah, but you know what? With her holding Trump's head, was it a little bit weird? And was she pushing the line? Yes. Did I have like a total big problem with it? Not really, because I know she's a comedian, you guys. That's their job, is to push the envelope, to sit there and maybe sometimes cross that line. And because they're a comedian, you got to sit there and be somewhat forgiving because they're testing the waters out. That's their whole job. So again, you guys might be offended by Kathy Griffith holding Trump's head with like bloody. Was it weird? Yeah. It didn't really bother me all that much. So here is Jon Stewart just the other day talking about this whole thing.
The opening act, grabbing headlines for all the wrong reasons, a comedian who offered unfunny, racist, cringeworthy jokes.
Basically calling Puerto Ricans trash.
The most repulsive racial jokes about Latinos.
Disgusting and hateful.
So incredibly crude.
Frankly, just too X-rated to play here.
Extremely vile so-called jokes.
Extremely vile so-called jokes. She name-checked my comedy album from the 90s. Did I really? I don't know who's AI, me or that guy. Now, obviously, in retrospect, having a roast comedian come to a political rally a week before Election Day and roasting a key voting demographic, probably not the best decision by the campaign politically. But to be fair, the guy's really just doing what he does. Yep. I mean, here he is at the Tom Brady roast a few months ago.
So he's just rehashing what we just said. That's what he does. That's what he was hired and brought on to do. And by the way, he kept it PG-13. I know some of you are in the chat like Danielle, and it's okay to say it. Hey, don't waste your time with a knucklehead or a kid like that. The only reason I wanted to show that video of that TikToker was because you're seeing a look at how a lot of the progressive left think. And so that's why I have to show kind of an example of what I'm talking about, of how a lot of them are reacting to all of this. So we got to show an example, or else I'd be showing you like 20, 30 videos, boom, 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 of these people kind of losing their ish over a joke. And then the same people that are losing their ish over a joke are the same people that are also calling you a bunch of names, while at the same time saying you shouldn't be telling jokes. It is a pretty wild thing. So this is what broke yesterday. Joe Biden sits there. Here's Tony Hinchcliffe's joke and the left losing their shit. He goes, I gotta do something about this. And like Batman, the dude unstraps his CPAP machine. And he comes out. He's stumbling around the White House. Get me out there. Get me out to a desk. I got something to say. Right? And he's walking like a zombie. Right? Taking a hit of the inhaler. I gotta do this. If it's my dying breath, I must say this. He comes out and does the unthinkable. All the news was about Tony Hinchcliffe and calling Puerto Ricans garbage. Right? All the news was about Nazis. Biden comes out. He's like, it has to be about me. He calls all Trump supporters garbage. Tony Hinchcliffe, with a joke, calls Puerto Rico garbage. Like, it's a swing, but it's small, right? The dude goes, I gotta do something better. I have to call half the country garbage. So he comes out, dude. I can't fucking believe it. And he saves the Trump campaign. The dude swings in, right? The dude swings in on his dying breath and calls all of us garbage. Oh, the timing. Look at him. He's all close to the camera like me. You're garbage.
Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable, and it's un-American.
Joe. You notice that I'm not doing a TikTok. Oh, well, it's like you're showing up to grandma's and he calls you garbage, right? First of all, I laughed at it. I thought it was fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? Because we're so used to it. It's like, come on, I know it's not true. We're not garbage. You know what I mean? But it's just funny how he comes out and just underscores, just completely takes the narrative away from the Harris campaign. Because now they can't come out and talk. I mean, the fact that he even called us garbage, right? Oh my God. I mean, Joe used the same word Tony Hinchcliffe did, right? So she can't come out and say anymore, oh, well, Tony Hinchcliffe called Puerto Ricans and everybody garbage, right? It's like, well, didn't Joe just call like half the country garbage? You know what I mean? He didn't even use a different word. Oh, it was great. It was freaking phenomenal. And so Biden then, like, they're scrambling, right? Scrambling. Oh, fuck. What are we going to do? Joe just called everybody garbage. Like, so they're scrambling to fix it. Comes out, Trump lies to explain why he called Trump supporters garbage. Biden comes out to explain it. What did he say here? Look at this. Oh, Joe, earlier today, I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump supporter at his MAGA. See how I said that already? MAGA Square Garden. Madison Square Garden. Rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. It's so bad. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. Didn't this guy say, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black? I mean, we've done clips of Biden saying some pretty insane things about black people and like poor people. That's all I meant to say. The comments at that rally don't reflect who we are as a nation. Joe, you literally called us garbage. We'll just run that back.
In my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
I don't know. I'm trying to clean up your diaper, Joe. Joey's trying to clean up his diaper. And, well, that didn't work out really well so far, Joey, because nobody's taking it. So Trump responds to it immediately Marco Rubio comes on stage. He's like, sorry, Mr. President, we got news. Because it is huge news. Like I mentioned, folks, everybody was sitting there talking about Tony Hinchcliffe, right? Tony Hinchcliffe said that. Tony Hinchcliffe said this. And they were getting all upset. So Trump, former President Trump said Biden's attack Tuesday night on the 74 million Americans who voted for him was terrible. And of course, Trump's going to lean in on this. Why would you not? I mean, he's sitting there. Joe Biden changed the entire narrative for us. Joe Biden may have rescued the Trump campaign. Think about that. Or if you want to flip the other side, sabotaged Kamala Harris.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
That's what it says. That's what it says.
So that paper he's holding, I believe, was after Marco Rubio took the stage and notified everybody of the breaking news. That's how big of a deal this was that Joe Biden came out and just said that.
So you have, remember Hillary, she said deplorable, and then she said irredeemable, right? But she said deplorable, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right? But he doesn't know, you have to please forgive him. Please forgive him, for he not knoweth what he said.
Trump, he's the best. He's the best.
These people, it's terrible, terrible. Terrible to say a thing like that, but he really doesn't know. He really, honestly, he doesn't. And I'm convinced that
he doesn't have a clue, really. Don't lay into him. He doesn't know what he just said.
he likes me more than he likes Kamala.
That might actually be true now. That part might actually be some truth to it. Oh God, isn't Trump the best? He is always funny. Yeah, he's great. Oh my God. It's just gonna be sad when we don't have like Trump around anymore. You know what I mean? Like he's let's hope he gets in his 47. He does his 4 years, but you know, that's it. You know, we're never gonna get this again. God, it's so good. Get out and vote for Trump. I know some of you have already voted early. Folks, we are less than a week away. Isn't that crazy, man? Tuesday's coming up. I'm getting a little nervous. So that was big news. And as I mentioned, you know, we're going to wait. Everybody just wait, because after everything we've seen from the Democrats, we're extremists, we're a threat to democracy, we're going to destroy the country, we're going to go into World War III, you know, you're deplorables, you're sexist, you're racist, all these name callings, right? You just had a sitting president come out and just call us all garbage. I want to wait and see on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, or X. I want to see all these social media platforms. Everybody be on the lookout. Email me the clips when you see them calling out Joe Biden. So thebaldbradshow@gmail.com. You guys send me all the clips of the Democrat Party and progressive left, the same people, because I want to do a side by side. I want to see the same people that were losing their shit over Tony Hinchcliffe's joke. I want to see them come out and call out their own party for this. Because if they don't, they're just hypocrites. That's what they are. They're hypocrites. At least when Donald Trump says something I don't like, I call it out. I'm not saying I like the guy and everything he does and says. Of course not. That's crazy. I'm not beholden to the Republican Party. But at least I have somewhat of a linear line of thinking. Just wait. Again, I'm not bothered by Joe Biden calling me garbage. Does not faze me one bit. If anything, I think it's fucking hilarious. I'm not sure if he knows what he said. He doesn't even know what he said.